Instant execution. Basically, the word instant means something that is happening at the moment, right now. So when you say instant execution, it means that you're buying or you're selling instantly. You're buying and selling at the current market price. And then take profit is a future price at which your floating profits will be realized. Floating means changing profits, changing values of the profit. So once that price has been reached, then your profits will be going to your balance. In other words, your balance will increase. And then stop loss is simply a future price at which your floating loss will be realized. So in other words, in case your trade is running and you are in negatives, that negative value at that moment is called a floating loss. And when that price has been reached, then your trade will be stopped, and that loss is what will be realized. In other words, your current balance will reduce by that amount there. That's what stop loss means. Now, the beauty with these take profit and stop loss is that you don't have to babysit your trade. In case you've taken a trade, you don't have to be on the computer and wait for the price to reach a certain price and then you stop it out manually. You don't have to sit there. Simply take the trade, determine the take profit and stop loss, and then simply move away and go and do other things. Let me demonstrate to you what I'm meaning by this. For example, so assuming that I had already taken my trade, maybe it is a buy, this is a long position. In case I'm doing my analysis, I can use this icon here, and I place it here. And I place it there like that. Assuming that this black line here represents the price at which my market was triggered. In other words, whether I bought at that point there, instant buying, or a buy stop, and my trade is already running. This price here, this new black line here, let me change that color to green. If the price reaches here, then that's where my trade will be stopped out and my profits deposited to my balance. Likewise, if the trade goes against me and it hits this price, then my losses will stop here. Now, the advantages of having stop losses is that in case the market goes against you, you don't lose so much. And this is expected. You don't lose so much. In other words, you cut your losses. Let me show you how this is done on MT4, MT5. Let me use MT5. So on a laptop, assuming that I had sold, let me just show you here. This is an icon for new order. In case I want to take another order, I can either use this, or I can simply come here either to buy or to sell. You can see that I simply come and I sell. I've clicked the sell. So that is my sell. And my trade is running, as you can see at the bottom here. As you can see, my trade is running and is in what these changing values here are what I'm calling the floating. This is what I call the floating profit or loss. In case it is a blue, that is a profit. In case it is red, then that is a loss. So these are floating profit or loss. So, and as you can see here, I have not yet set my SL and I've not yet set my TP. In other words, the price can run forever. In case I have this amount of money in my account balance, this is my balance. In case the loss goes against me and reaches negative $10,000, then my account will be depleted. I'll be back to zero. This is equity, this is the current. I will be talking about this later on, the equity, the margin, and so on. So what I'm looking at here is basically floating profits or losses. Now, in case I want to set the profit, take profit, and stop loss, I have two alternatives. Either I can simply come here and I simply click on this green line, then I drag it downwards to where I want my stop loss to be. Actually, that is, so since I sold, then my take profit is always down, sorry. And then my stop loss will always be up, like that. In other words, the stop loss is in the direction where the market goes against my chosen direction. So for me, I had chosen a sell, as you can see here, and the market is in red. You can see that red there. It is in negatives. So my stop loss is up here. When the price reaches and hits this line, the trade is cut off with a loss. If the trade goes and hits this red line, this TP line here, then I am in a profit. And that profit will be deposited. So that is when I've taken an instant buy or sell. If I don't want to do that, then I can simply come and I check on this new order. As you can see, I click on new order. This comes. So I'm having instant execution, that is buying or selling at market price, or I can do a pending order. We're going to be looking at this in the next video. So if I want to buy and sell at the current price, what I do, I simply come and change my lot size. Actually, I didn't tell you how to change the lot size here. For this one here, the lot size, simply change it from here. This is where you change the lot size. This value is here. And then you press a buy or a sell. So for this one here, I want to do an instant execution, and what I do, I simply come, I change my lot size. I can, in case I want 0.1, I can use 0.01, or I want 0.02, I use 0.02, and then I can come and buy. When I click a buy, my trade is executed. So you can see that I'm having a selling and then a buying. I'm just showing you. Don't mind about this. Otherwise, you're supposed to decide. If you do selling and then buying at the same time, then that means that you're gambling on what you're doing. So in case I buy, that is the price that I've bought at. Instant execution. So if I want to set my stop loss and take profit, instead of just dragging them, I simply come and double click on this buying part here. I right click on this position here, and then I say modify. If I say modify, then I input my stop loss and my take profit. I can either use these arrows here. Since I bought, then the price, I expect the price to be lower. Let me change this. Since I bought, then maybe my price should be lower than this current price. So I can say maybe 20.05, and then my my take profit is supposed to be above since I bought. So I can say, let's say maybe 55. And then I click modify. So you can see that my stop loss and my take profit orders have been initiated and they can there. So once this is done, I can relax and go and do other things. So when the price reaches either the take profit or the stop loss, everything will be out. So when you have a mobile phone, what do we do on mobile phone? So MT5 updated its platform and it is now very easy to take orders. So this icon here, when you click it, it will simply bring in the instant sales or buy. And then when you click on this one here, it will give you the limit orders, the other limit orders as we shall be seeing later on, the buy stop, the sell stop, and so on. So if I want to buy, I simply come and change the lot size that I want to use. I want to use 0.05, and then I simply click a buy. So when I click a buy, you can see that it has been initiated, the trade has been initiated, and at the moment, it is the current price is below my buying positions, and as you can see here, I'm already in negatives. And when you click here, you don't see the SL, the stop loss, or the take profit. So what we do here, we simply go back to our charts. I simply go onto this line here. I click on it, and then I click this arrow. Or I can click SL. I put it up. It is up there, and then I drag it. And then up to the SL is going to be below since I'm buying. It will be down there. Let me check. I don't want it to reach before. Okay. Somewhere there. I'll put my SL there. And then I click on TP. And then I drag it to a point where I want it. I want the price to reach for me to get my profit up to there. And then once I'm done with that, I simply come and I click on this arrow here. And everything will be set there. I simply need to click on modify, and everything will be settled. So at the moment, I am in negatives, as you can see. When I go back to my charts, you can see that the price is below the buying point. Buying means I want it to be going upwards. In case it goes down, I'll be in negatives. So that is when we are using this on a phone. So in a minute again, we shall be looking at the other types of orders. That is the buy stop, sell limit, sell stop. Have a nice time.